Hi everyone, this is a tutorial for You and Your Eyes. My name's Billy from Piano Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. So to play this song the easiest, and to play along with the original track, we need to be in a drop tuning by half a step. All I mean by that is that your E string needs to be tuned down to E flat, A to A flat, D to D flat, G to G flat, B to B flat, E to E flat. You can play this in standard, but if you're playing along with the track or with me in this video, then you'll find that it'll sound a little bit off. So yeah, I'll be in half a step down tuning, just like the track. So jumping in with the start of the song, which is the first verse, there are 4 chords that we need, and the first chord that we need is a C major chord, which is 3 on the E string, 2 on the D, an open G, 1 on the B, and an open E. Now I am calling these chords by their original names as if I was in standard tuning, because more than likely you know that as a C major shape. So even though technically it is a B major shape, by the sound, I'm going to go by the chord shape names. Now the second shape we need is technically a C/B, which is a bit of a strange name. Basically we need 2 on the A string, 0, 0 on the D and G, 1 on the B, and an open E. That's what we call a passing chord. And the third chord is an A minor chord, which is an open A, 2, 2 on the D and G, 1 on the B, and an open E. It'll then go back to the C/B, and then it'll go to the final chord of the verse, an F major chord, which we're going to play as 3 on the D string, 2 on the G, 1 on the B, and 1 on the high E. I'm using a flat finger for those bottom 2. So now that we've talked about the chords of that first verse, now let's go over the strumming. Now we've got a palm muted sound. All that means is that this part of my strumming hand is going to rest lightly on the strings just behind the saddle and the bridge. So what we're going to do is just play like that. I'm not pressing down too hard. I'm just lightly touching the strings to get that kind of sound. And in terms of strumming, we've got this slowly, which is down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So I'm going to play that slowly throughout that verse so you can see how it all fits together. A full bar of C, full bar of the next chord, then half a bar, and then a full bar of F. I'm now going to play it without talking over the top of it, at pace, once round. So if you were to play those chords round twice, you have got yourself the first verse. And looking over to my notes, we have a pre-chorus and then a chorus where they change everything. Now it's worth mentioning that if you want the chord chart for this, which has the full structure with all the chords in the correct order, as well as the chords and the lyrics matched up, let's say you're singing along or playing along and you need to know which chord goes with which word, then head on over to Patreon. I've got you covered. For the price of a coffee, you get everything wrote out professionally by myself. And yeah, so it saves you from trying to find something online or trying to memorize and yeah, potentially get something a bit iffy. So yeah, feel free to check that out. Let's move on to the pre-chorus, which starts off with an F major chord. And then it goes to this chord here, which is a G major chord, which is 3 on the E string, 2 on the A, 0, 0, 0, and then a 3 on the high E. So we have F, then that G chord, then a quick change of A minor to G, and then F. And you'll play those chords of the pre-chorus round twice. So that was F to the G, A minor, G, F. And then, when it's played twice, at the end, you strum once a G major chord before it leads into the chorus. Speaking of which, we're not going to palm mute anymore, we're full on strumming. It's the same strumming pattern, so we've still got this. We've still got that rhythm, it's just now full on strumming rather than using the palm of your hand to mute the strings a little bit. And what happens is, we play A minor, G and C like this. you'll notice that I stayed on the C chord for twice as long. So it's A minor once, G major once, and C major twice round. In fact, looking over to the notes again, we play everything I've just said a second time. But the third time they change yet again. It's a little bit sneaky. They start off with A minor and G. In fact, they do go to the C, but then they change to F. We then have a fourth time round, which is A minor, G, and C again. And then on the fifth time, should I say, we sustain the A minor, if I can get my words out. 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, and then... And that will get you to the end of the chorus. So yeah, there's a lot of different parts going on there, so it might be worth checking out the link to the extra content over on Patreon. So, we then get a little bit of repetition. Looking over to the notes one final time, we have a second verse. The second verse is exactly the same as the first verse, where we have the C, palm muted, C/B, A minor, C/B, and F. The only difference is, this second verse is only once round, compared to the first verse where you played it twice. We then get a pre-chorus, exactly the same as the first pre-chorus that we had. We then get to the very last part of the song, which is one final chorus, and the great thing is, it is exactly the same as the first chorus that you did. The only difference is, when you've played it through once, you'll play it through a second time, and then you get to the end of the song. So if you found this video useful, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really does help out the channel. I've just hit 5,000 subscribers just before Christmas, so I was really chuffed with that. And if you are interested in that extra material over on Patreon, like I said, everything's thrown out professionally for this song, and you get access to well over 450 other songs of the latest releases. So yeah, feel free to check that out in the link in the description. In fact, the people on the screen who are my active patrons will get that content straight away the moment this video goes live. So thank you to them for their support, thanks to you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.